looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Hope you guys are having a great day. It just started for us. It's 5 o'clock in the morning when our podcast drops every day at 5 o'clock for at least the next, 365 minus episode 150, whatever. It's too early to do the math.
Math is a strong suit.
Math is not a strong suit on anything for me.
Previous episode had Matt Schick on, which was awesome. Had a ton of fun. The video part's kind of fun. A lot of people like the video part.
I know we got to start to see. Here's the thing: we're moving offices. Parkville Media, our company, it's growing, which is awesome. Our podcast is growing, so we're moving offices as of when this episode is dropping and tickling your ears.
Yeah,
we're probably sweating, moving a whole bunch of stuff to our new office. So when we get there, it's going to be set up. We'll have video more often, and hopefully daily. And it's been hard with the space we have now.
We've been toying with, and the space that we're in is great. It's just that we knew it wasn't going to be permanent, and so it's kind of hard. It's like that interim house when you're moving, and maybe you sold your house and you're living in another house because you're looking for the house you're going to live in or whatever apartment. So you don't want to get too comfortable where you're at, but you're trying to do, make it as homey as possible.
Right.
That's kind of where we're at because we knew this wasn't going to be our forever home. So it was like, all right, we started, then we're like, well, do we run cables? Should we run wire? Oh, geez, I don't know. We're not going to be here.
So we have to literally change formats of our room every day.
Yeah, so we have cords, it's like covering up cords and trying to be as cool as we can be, but knowing that this isn't going to be the be all end all. And it's been a phenomenal space for us in the interim, to get us up and running. And now we found a place that we can actually move into, and it's more permanent. The intent is more permanent. Yeah, we signed a lease that's
scary,
that's longer.
the nerve diarrhea has finally stopped.
We were kind of monthly here, and then so now all of a sudden it's not just monthly. So we are actually moving into a place and going to be putting in, I guess, like putting in shelf liner, man.
Right.
It's going to be that kind of thing.
Big commitment.
We've got to buy waste baskets. This place came with a lot of the stuff that we already needed.
I mean, it was like a turnkey, whatever.
It was ready to go.
It was ready to go.
We just had to move in. It's like getting a furnished apartment, right? Or one of those long-term hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Everything's in there. Towels. You've got paper towels. There might even be some Kansas soup.
And put up a Christmas tree. Maybe hang a wreath, but not a Christmas tree. Too big of a commitment.
Right. And so
and we'll share a lot of it on Facebook, on Facebook Lives and stuff while we're going through this process the next few days, moving in and
days.
Well, weeks, whatever.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while because we will paint eventually too. But it doesn't need it right now, and so it's one of those things. See, that's where you get sucked in when you move into a house and you think, I want to change that, but it works, so I'm fine. And then 8 years later,
it's still working. Right.
And so you fix it right before you move. And you're like, damn, I wish I would have done
That's
this
what we just did in Lincoln. We've just moved to Omaha, and we've spent more time working on Beth's house that she's now renting than we've worked on the last 2 years. Probably her 10 years as she's been there combined. It's been from tile to new wood. It's been crazy. New siding. So yeah, and then can't get to enjoy any of it.
Nope. You just get to have the fun of putting it up.
Super fun. It was a great time.
10 grand would have helped.
Yeah.
10 grand would have helped, right? Did you hear about... There's a guy online. His name is Bill Pulte, and he started a hashtag Twitter philanthropy. And he's wealthy. We'll just start there. He's actually a grandson of the late Pulte Home founder. His name was William Pulte. And so he has a little change, but he wanted to change up the way people do philanthropy because times have changed. Technology's changed. And he said, literally, he was sitting on his porch a few months ago, and he was thinking, how can I help more people? He sitting there. Remember, when we talked to Hunter Radenslaben?
Yeah.
And he had that same thought as a 12-year-old. How can I help more people?
Right.
Those are truly genuine people, that he's really looking for a way to change things. And he says the way philanthropy is done now is so outdated. And he figured, why not shake it up a little bit? We have technology. Let's use it for a better cause. So what he does is you follow him on Twitter, and he's at Pulte, Pulte. I follow him. The reason why this comes up is because this weekend there was a tweet that went out, excuse me, and said follow and retweet for a chance at $10,000. So I'm going to pick somebody randomly on Monday. So today's the day. Everybody that retweeted and is following him is eligible. He's going to randomly pick somebody to give him $10,000. And he said he's trying also challenging politicians, sports stars, celebrities to retweet him to help move the cause along, to get the word out. And he's even gotten attention from the president. He said, if Donald Trump retweets this, and he added him, I will give $30,000 to a veteran on Twitter. The president retweeted him.
Good Lord.
And the following response, the president wrote, "Thank you, Bill." And that tweet resulted in him buying a $20,000 car and giving $10,000 cash to a disabled female veteran in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's done a ton of these. Manny Pacquiao also jumped on and retweeted, and he was happy to be of help to get the word out. Of course, he's had thousands of requests for help, everything from paying my electric bill to massive medical bills. And he says he's heard from people all around the globe. He had 34,000 followers before he launched the challenge. He's like at almost, I don't know, I might have to look it up because I was thinking it was about 150,000 to 200,000 followers now.
Okay, why don't we do something like that? We don't have 10 grand,
Well.
but can we give $20? I mean,
I know, honestly, it's such a neat thing.
and I'm sorry, the cynic in me is like, that's awesome, that's fantastic, but come on, dude's doing it for followers.
He's
He's
not.
doing it. I know he's not, but that's the first thing you think of is that because you see all these musicians and these other businesses that do it for attention, and there
They're
are people
doing
that
it.
don't do it for attention, like this guy, it gives them a bad name, and it shouldn't.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, what he's doing, he has a soft spot for veterans, and he's working with Coda Vets, which is a volunteer organization to help those that are experiencing challenges. And he's been connected with a veteran who's disabled, and they were living in their car, as a matter of fact, last fall into this winter. And through his help and with that organization, they found shelter for her.
That's pretty incredible.
He bought a car for another veteran who had lost theirs. And it does little things. It could be $500. It could be $30,000. And he'll put some criteria. And he might say, okay, you've got to do this, retweet this and follow this and whatever it might be. But it's never anything that's huge. Like you can do it from your computer, whatever it is that he's asking for. He literally has a 3-person staff that's helping him sift through. They go through and make sure that people are who they say they are. That's kind of tough on, because obviously Twitter can't do that.
Yeah.
And neither, and Facebook is having some trouble too.
That takes a lot to do that, because some of these people have crazy names, and then there are pictures of cat
and
or
not
whatever.
everybody's thank you verified.
Yeah. I know, you've been trying, we get
right?
it.
That is just one of those things that's just gonna stick in my craw.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever that is. But it's one of those things that really irks me, because the whole point of being verified is so other people know you are legitimately that person. It's not to say that Twitter is endorsing you.
Right, like they validate you.
Right? It's
Right.
just that you are the person that you say you are. I've literally sent them a copy of my flippin' driver's license.
That never, with your real name on it.
Right? Doesn't happen.
Brenda Skratsky.
My name is not Brenda.
That would be
Not
fantastic.
anything, nothing against the Brendas of the world, but
Pat
I am
and Brenda, that would have been awesome.
I am not. I am not Brenda. But I just thought that was the neatest thing, and so they put the one out this weekend for the 10 grand. So hell yes, I retweeted that.
Yeah.
And I've been following him for a while and just waiting to see what the next thing is that he comes up with. But I think it's something. God help us! It's something fun and light that's on social media.
Yeah.
That's it's crazy.
It usually makes you feel just going on Twitter, especially, but Facebook too. It's just you usually end up with like a sick pit in your stomach.
Facebook is worse because you have less control. You have, if somebody wants to friend you, you have to friend them back. And maybe I don't give a rat's behind what you post. Mm-hmm. I can block. Or what can I do? Can I mute them?
You can mute them for 30 days.
For 30 days at a time, so you don't have to see what they're posting. Whereas Twitter, you just follow whoever you want to. So if you're getting crap in your Twitter feed, that's on you.
Yeah, that's your own fault.
Change your follows.
Right.
And then you'll feel a little bit better about yourself. And I did that. Well, not exactly. I just created another account.
Yeah.
So then I could follow.
Now, when I get a DM from your super secret troll account, I'm thinking, and it's usually like 8:30 at night. I'm like, oh, she's in the wormhole. Here she is. She's got her helmet on.
I did, baby.
She's got her monocle.
I'm in the bunker.
Yeah, she's in the bunker eating that bucket of cheese bags that Bill O'Reilly sells for 20 years. Oh gosh, what movie did she watch? Here we go.
What was the movie? Oh God, see, now you got me thinking. I can't think of one name. I can't think of their names. Oh my God, where the kid was raised in the bunker, and then he comes out. It's a comedy kind of. Oh, it's one of my favorite actors too. Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know.
Somebody will know what it is. Because they went into the bunker like in the 60s or something like that. And then he comes out and he's 20, 30 years old.
I don't think I've ever, unless you're doing a terrible job of describing it, I don't think I've ever heard of this movie.
Somebody knows who it is. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. I'll think of it while we're talking about
It sounds like
else.
it'd be a good movie.
But yeah, anyway, and they lived in the bunker. And then because they thought World War III was happening, but it wasn't. And then when they finally did come out, there was like a bar built on top of their bunker lid.
What?
And they thought they were gods when they came.
What?
I can't remember this guy's
no idea.
name.
That's 2016. That's 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's not it.
Oh, that's scary movie.
That's scary. Yeah.
Blast from the Past.
Oh, got it. That's with
1999.
That's with what's his name?
That's the one of my
Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you found it.
1999.
A little creative editing that only took 2.5 days. I found it.
Blast from the Past. Brendan Fraser.
Okay, I have not seen that, but I've heard of it at least.
He's, and I'm not saying he's like, oh my God, my favorite actor. He's one of my favorite actors. And
he's kind of come back a little bit. He kind of went out after he did the movie The Raccoons. You know, that whatever that movie was, where his family, him and Brooke Shields, were married, moved into a neighborhood, and they had talking animals that made him crazy. And he was on city council or whatever.
I don't remember that.
He's kind of. Well, it'd kind of be sketch if you had sat down and watched that movie, because it's like a total kids movie. You actually get dumber from watching that movie. But yeah, then he kind of bounced back and.
Anyway, Brendan Fraser is who I was talking about. Blast from the Past was the movie I was talking about. And that, you got me there. Thank you very much. Thanks for talking
From the
about.
bunker.
From the bunker.
That's all my fault.
Yep. All your fault. All right. So some sad news this weekend. I don't know whether to start with the sad news or the crazy news, because they both have to do at the same place. Let's go with the sad news first. Russie Taylor passed away. And Russie Taylor was the voice of Minnie Mouse. 75 years old. There was no cause of death given. But she apparently, when she was a little kid, she met Walt Disney, and he had asked her what she wanted to do, and she said she wanted to work for him, and she did. Ended up being the voice of Minnie Mouse.
Well,
Isn't
that's
that crazy?
Lucky, yeah.
She's from Massachusetts, and she beat out about 200 other competitors that auditioned. She voiced Minnie across film, television, even in the theme parks and movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Mickey Mouse Club. It was just for over 30 years that she was the voice of Minnie Mouse. And she also was the voice of a lot of other characters on TV, like on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Bart's nerdy classmate, Martin. That was
really?
Her voice as well.
That's funny.
I think that would be so much fun. I wish I could do voices. You know, it's just like people who are able to do voices.
It's pretty incredible. And I tried to do a voice for somebody up here for a client trying to sell something to somebody, you know, and it was voice. It was fun, but man, my throat hurt and it was exhausting. And we just did it for like 30 minutes. And
yeah,
it's humiliating. Like sitting here with somebody. I'm sitting up here with Chip, and I'm like, okay, dude, don't look at me when I'm doing this.
It's like I make faces to get the voice.
It's so weird, and then you're just like spent afterwards.
Right,
you're so tired.
Right, because you're not doing what's natural or what's what you habitually do. Let's put it that way. But get that, I did not know this. Her husband passed away, by the way, in 2009. Okay, his name was Wayne. He voiced Mickey Mouse.
So Mickey and Minnie were really married in real life?
In real life, they were married. Pillow talk?
Ooh. I know there's some people out there that I know would love that.
Or just, just like that pet, like, hey, sweetie, hey, sugar. Just like, I wonder if it got into
Ew, no way.
The baby, like baby talk almost. Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Go ahead and choke me.
Oh, God.
I don't even know. What does Mickey Mouse sound like?
Just like what you did.
What does Mickey Mouse sound like?
Really high voice.
But that's Minnie.
No, they both had that same voice.
Well, that'd be really creepy.
Oh, my God. So speaking of Disney, there was a woman who posted a rant recently, and she had it. And it's in all caps mostly. I'd say a good 2/3 of it's all caps. There's some cussing, so I have to do some creative editing because I really don't want to throw some of these bombs out there. But it started off with, it pisses me off to no end when I see childless couples at Disney World.
Why does it make her so angry?
DW is how she talks about Disney World.
That's my phone. Sorry.
Okay, thanks. DW is a family amusement park.
What?
Yet these immature millennials throw away their money on useless crap They have no idea the capitals joy and all capitals happiness. It is to capitals all the way. Mothers who buys their babies treats and toys. They will never experience the exhaustion that it is to chase a 3-year-old around and getting stares at assuming I'm a bad mother. She calls her a really nasty word, chick, in some very slutty shorts was buying a Mickey pretzel. And Aiden wanted one, but the line was very long. So I said, later. And it broke his poor little heart, he cried.
And we wonder where snowflakes are born.
DW is for, all caps, children. People without children need to be banned. Mothers with children should be allowed to skip all the lines. You have no bleeping idea what it's like to stand in line for 3 hours with a cranky, tired, exhausted toddler. And I just can't tell him that we can't do something because it's his vacation too.
Oh, how old is this toddler, did she say?
She has
3?
a 3-year-old. Last line, I bleeping hate childless women with a burning passion.
Wow.
So
this lady needs to get an edible or two. Just pump them. This 3-year-old will not even remember 1 second of his vacation.
One of the first responses.
Not one thing of his vacation.
And can you blame him for being tired and cranky going to Disney World? Because, and we've talked about this before, you go to a place like that, the cost, by God, we're going to stay from sun up to sundown.
We just talked about that with Matt Schick on the previous episode. Yeah.
Brought the same topic up. No, we're not going to leave. We have a 3-day pass and we're going to use all 3 days.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. We're not going to blow our money and leave after 2 hours.
And this kid didn't save up his money and buy these tickets, so he's going on vacation. You didn't have to bring him till he was 6.
Vacation from what? No.
Jeez,
another one says, so moms get to skip the line to form another line
of
with moms and kids?
Because then they're up there, and then the other line is people without kids, and that line's like, woo, 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 like flying through.
Right? And banning the childless people in general, prices will skyrocket. And you notice there's no mention of dad in here.
Yeah.
And some others pointed out that her, the one line where she says, no idea the joy, all caps, joy and happiness it is for mothers experiencing the exhaustion that is to chase a 3-year-old. Sounds like she's not happy with some choices she made.
Right.
Quite possibly.
Right. Yeah. It's exhausting. It's so tiring.
I just want to point out, as we were talking about Mickey and Minnie Matter just a few minutes ago, childless couple.
Good point.
Just going to say.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
And as I told my story about Disney World, I was by myself when I went.
You didn't pay to go by yourself to Disney? You should never ban people that have kids, don't have kids, whatever, from anywhere. No. I think personally it's weird that if an adult or a couple of adults go to Disney World, Disneyland.
Do you really?
I just think it's weird. I don't know. I just think it's weird.
I wish they'd have Disney World for adults. I wish they would have where there's no kids. You want to talk about? I'd like to talk to this woman about that.
It's called the bar.
No. I want rides. I want pretzels. I don't want to have to stand in line. I don't want sticky kids touching me. I don't want.
Maybe that's okay. So maybe they need to have not Disney World necessarily, but like a Six Flags or something like that needs to have an adults only or Worlds of Fun, an adults only day.
No kids allowed.
Where you can walk around with cocktails. I don't know if you can now or not. I don't know.
Yes. That would be wonderful.
Omaha Children's Museum does that like 2 hours every month or so, has an adult night. Because you go to places like that and some of that stuff's pretty cool.
Kind of fun.
You got all these little dirtbag kids in front of you messing with the stupid the feather blower thing, and you want to play with it.
I feel the same way about Las Vegas. I know they have Circus, and that's for a reason. So that the kids, that's usually where people with kids stay, is at Circus. Not always because, well, it was at one time. It's probably not that anymore because it had all the games and it had the fun house and all the stuff that you could do with the kids. But just in going to Vegas too, I'm like, no, just don't. Just leave them home.
Yeah, or at least if they're a little older, where they can at least go with their buddies and walk around and do something. You have to watch them or chase a screaming 3-year-old around. I would never take a 3-year-old to Disney World ever.
I can't even imagine. And you've seen the stock photos where it does have people with strollers and people with little kids on leashes and all that good stuff. And it's like they're just hot and they're gonna get tired.
I went there when I was 12, and I remember. Limited. Like I remember the fireworks. I remember Epcot
I was 24
Center.
and I remember nothing.
Right.
I remember meeting Figment, who was in the Epcot Center.
Mm-hmm. I remember Figment.
Figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
And Figment would ride on the roller coaster with you. I remember
That was
meeting
pretty awesome.
Figment.
I do remember Figment.
I
remember my grandpa cussing a lot because it was freaking hot in June in Florida. I remember him cussing. I remember him and my grandma getting in a fight on a 6-lane interstate going in. And him just stopping and literally going 15 miles an hour to get to his exit because by God, I'm not going around this. God bleepity bleepity bleep. We're in the back of an Aries K with no air conditioning. I'm fat and I'm pissed. And that's all I remember.
Was it you and Mike?
Me and Mike in the back.
Oh my God.
My grandma and grandpa in the front.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was funny. So yeah.
How much did your parents pay your grandparents for that?
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I do remember. I remember coming back. We were gone for 6 weeks. Trip down to Florida, up to Boston, New York, same Aries K. Drove through New York traffic with my grandpa. And I remember driving by Georgia Tech University, and we learned the song Georgia Fight song because there was cussing in it. So a hell of an engineer, and it was so cool to cuss like that. But I remember when we got back, and my parents were there, and I remember my dad made it. I'm not going to say it now because my mom will kill me. But I remember us.
Come on!
They picked us up from somewhere, and we were driving. My mom and dad were in the front. My dad's like, you kids are back. I can't do blah bitty blah anymore while we're driving. And it was like, and I remember my mom, Frank, and slapped him. But that's the stuff I remember. I don't remember rides other than Figment.
Figment is what I remember. I remember going to Epcot and Figment.
Come on, 3. So that's a good thing. You can call 402-403-9478 and text us. Get on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's Pat and JT. Like the earliest you legitimately take a kid on a vacation. If it's a baby, like, and you're taking a kid like camping or just for the cute pictures of the baby, whatever. But to actually think they're going to enjoy the vacation, that it's their vacation.
Right.
What's the age?
If you're spending that much money to go to Disney World.
And it's their vacation.
But it's their vacation too. I'm just curious, do you agree with, and we don't have a name for this woman. She's fortunate because the person who reposted her did not post her name or her handle.
Yeah.
But if you agree with this woman in all caps.
All caps lady?
No childless adults at Disney World? Or let's hear about your vacation stories. Just curious, whether it's with your kids or you as a kid. Just curious, when you start remembering your vacations, when you start remembering those things, at what age does it?
And the person with the photographic memory that remembers everything from one, we don't need that.
You
text.
can't play.
Yeah, because you're not. Yeah, it's not fair. So yeah, 402-403-9478. You can text us if you would like that.
I want to thank Kugler Vision for being a supporter of our podcast. They've been with us. My gosh. I mean, honestly, we started in February and they were with us not long after that. And they've been on board ever since. And I can't express how much we appreciate it. If you're thinking about getting rid of the contacts or the glasses and you want somebody that you can trust and you want a recommendation, we would recommend them. And I think this is a great place to start is on their website at kuglervision.com. There's a ton of information on there. Click on the procedures. You'll see a consultation button and it will ask you how you heard about Kugler Vision. That's when we want you to say Pat and JT podcast.
We would appreciate it. They would appreciate it.
Very much. But get rid of the glasses. Get rid of the contacts. You may be able to do a same-day procedure. Wouldn't that be phenomenal?
Yes.
Kuglervision.com.
Want to know where to listen to our podcast? Go to patandjt.com.
Pat and JT podcast. A Parkville Media Production.